So every Friday I sit here and I try to go through the charts that I thought were most interesting this week as I go through many charts, right? We send out up to 40 ideas to the people over at StatsEdgeTrading. And then, from there, I'm looking just at charts all week long for maybe some discretionary trades. There's day trades that happen every day over at StatsEdgeTrading. So there's, up to 10 or 20 ideas there as well. And then I get all primed and I have some really good idea for you guys. And then Jay Powell comes on. And then Jay Powell comes on and he does this where everything is just ripping into the sun right now. Just everything across the board. So the first thing that I'll say is the most interesting chart of the week for you personally in your own account should be anything that's not up today. If you own a stock and that stock is not moving higher today, there is something desperately wrong with that stock, and you really have to go, man, what is wrong with this company? What is wrong with this idea that I have? Now, obviously, if it's a defensive name and you're buying it because it's defensive in your portfolio or something, great. But this is definitely one of those moments in which I look at those charts and I say, if I own a stock and that stock is not up, something has gone horribly wrong because this candle is huge. Again, this is each of these a day. So we've already ripped back to new all-time highs after pulling down about 1.5%. We're up 1.5%. We look at things like IWM. They're up huge. IWM's like 2.5% or so up on the day. 3.7. I was way off, almost 4% on the day. So really, really pushing. And, I've talked about this with the commitment of traders data, why I think small caps are outperforming relative to large caps. They look great as well. But what I was going to talk about, and we'll still talk about, let's just do FXI. So here with China. And China has been very, very interesting. You've had some good moves out of China here. But what I'm watching is this high right up here, about $40. And if we can get through that $40 area, then I can just move this little box up here. That gets us out of this base that we've been hanging out in a long time. And that is one that's interesting to look at. But the problem is, right, everything is up today. So China being up today doesn't interest me as much as it did in the morning when I did this. So I really want to revert back to when you're going through your list, you have to make sure that whatever you're holding is up. And if it's up today, then maybe just hold on with it. If it's down today, I'm not saying you just have to get rid of it immediately, but you have to take a big, hard look and say, okay, the market just skyrocketed. If my stock didn't, then I need to figure out why. And that becomes a really hard conversation to have with yourself. Is it that that sector was just out of favor that day? Is it that it's a defensive name and it doesn't go up when the market goes up? If it's none of those things, then again, you have to look and say, okay, everybody is buying everything. Shorts are getting completely blown out of positions in this level. You're having massive, if you look at something like Open, which is like the short float du jour, that's up 16% today. So everything is moving higher. And if it's not, again, these are not easy conversations to have, but they're very, very important, again, for discretionary traders. Us systematic guys, we're going to do the same thing that we do all the time. We're going to take the trade. We're going to get out of the trade when it's not working. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next trade. Now, that just leads me to, first of all, if you haven't signed up for the free course or the free newsletter, go right ahead. They're free. These are intro to trading course and a trading plan course. You can sign that up. And we're at the area in which I was going to increase the rates. I've been talking about all week. That happened way faster. I thought it would be like a month to fill out those remainder slots, but they all filled out right away. So what I'm going to do is come Monday, Stats Edge Pro rates are going to increase. So you have until Monday to sign up. I appreciate everyone who did. And again, if you're interested, you can learn more about all the systems that we do here. Now, it's one of those days that, of course, a lot of these swing trades are doing fantastically. I don't look at that as that's part of the system. That's just what's happening in the market. Now, lastly, I just want to talk about the VIX, right? when the VIX moves fast. So the VIX, for those who don't know, is the VIX is just the amount of people buying puts on the S&P 500. So the more people buy puts, the more fear is out there. A lot of people will just call it the fear index because of it. It just means, hey, everyone's a little bit worried about the market right now, so they're buying puts. So then the VIX will increase in value. And if no one's buying puts, then the VIX decrease in value. The VIX is obviously selling off today with the market just ripping. And when the VIX moves fast, most correlations go to 1. So it means, again, everything is moving together here. So just like I said, hey, if you have something in your portfolio and it's not working, you have to look at that as well. Also, I want to just kind of tone everyone in and do the whole saying of don't confuse brains for a bull market. I look at all of the swings that we have over at StatsEdgeTrading. Our swings are doing fantastic. It's been a great week for that. But I don't think, I'm some sort of genius because of it. I just look at the market and say, of course, everything's moving higher. So just like you have to have that one hard conversation of if I own something, it's not green, why? I think another hard conversation you have to have is that if you are making a lot of money, which I hope you are, everybody should be in a ripping market like this, you have that conversation with yourself honestly, and you say, yes, things are going great right now. There will be some pullback or bear market or shock event in the market at some point that will hold. And when that does, it's not that I'm an idiot, that I'm down money. It's just the way it moves. Everything gets kind of correlated here. Now, how long do I think this is going to occur? Well, I've been kind of screaming, pounding the table here for a while. Let's go here and just look. I've been talking about this commitment of trader data right here. So this red line that's been happening right here, this is the amount of people who are long or short the S&P 500. They are short, and they've been shorting the whole way up. This updates every weekend, so I will talk about it in one of my videos next week. Make sure you're signed up for, again, either the free trading courses or the free newsletter, and I'll email you out when a video comes out. When this line gets kind of back to neutral, that's when I will get back to neutral. The reason I've been so bulled up on this market for so long is because they've been very, very short. And I think it's why every dip is bought dramatically, because they have been so short for so long. So we need to wait until the weekend to see what happens here. But I will come on and I will talk about that on Monday to see if there is some sort of reversion back up here. But as long as they're short, I want to stay long because it's obviously not working for them. And the large institutions are no different from us. If you're short for too long, the market rips in your favor, you have to cover. They'll come get you. They'll send a guy to your door with to break your knees or something. So until we see that, I'm just going to continue to say, hey, every dip should look to be bought. When this kind of gets back to even and people are very much less short, it's like sentiment data. When sentiment is neutral, there's no value in what sentiment is. It's only when it's at the extremes. And this short has been at an extreme for a long time. So we'll see how much of this short gets blown out. We'll see that on the weekend. I'll do a little post about it sometime next week, cover you guys back where we are there. And until I talk to you guys next time, again, go to StatsEdgeTrading.com and then get away from the screens.